Prof, thank you very much for your time. 2-0 win for you guys here. Your overall thoughts on the game?
Yeah, a very well balanced game, especially in the first half. They afforded us spaces in our own half and on the wide spaces in their half. So they locked the center. They locked the center so that we do not penetrate in the center. And they locked the areas that we look to exploit. Fair enough, they know us very well because they train across across the street. So they always look at us training. So they know how we want to approach matches. And so in the first half, they did very well. They did very well. Yeah, as they say in football, you know, critical phases. And this is where they conceded in the last probably action of the half, with some mistakes. But in so saying, those mistakes were forced by us, especially in the last 20 minutes. We tried to change a little bit our approach. We said, right, go wide and then dribble inside, attract the man who's covering the half space, and then play combination plays to bypass from there. And we had four instances where that happened, and one of them was that last moment where they fouled Rory coming inside, and that's what created the set play. And unfortunately, the set play, they were badly organized with the set play, and we truly punished. Sorry for them because they did well in the first half, you know, to concede like that, you know. But it happened again in the second half. First 2 minutes, we punished them to get the second goal. So again, the critical phase of the half, just after kickoff, and in the first half, just before kickoff. So the second half, I'll say, went very well for us, because I think we controlled the game a little bit more. We controlled spaces that they wanted to exploit. Our counter press was very good, especially in the half spaces. Once they went wide, we were able to lock them in those wide areas and recover the ball immediately. And I was just happy with our guys. They listened a little bit more, because you know what, these games you can get too excited at times, and you can start making errors because you are too excited. You know, the excitement level is at number 10. You know, so sometimes there's no balance between the rational thinking of the players and the moment. Sometimes players get taken by the moment and the event. So I was just happy with the second half, that we stabilized possession a little bit more. We kept it a little bit more. We controlled the areas we wanted to control in the transition phases. And when we defended very well. They nearly exploited a one move behind us, and I anticipated it because they made 4 subs. Those 4 subs, 3 of them are forward players with pace. One winger on the right, one winger on the left, and a second striker to try and exploit the spaces behind us. They nearly went through with one of those, but our defense handled the rest of the moments very well. So yeah, as I say, I feel a little bit sorry for them because they were very well organized in the first half, and you think if it's not, you know, it makes it a very interesting game in the second half. But yeah, they conceded in that late stage and the early phase of the second half. Yeah, balanced game in the first half, but I think the second half were the lion's share of the possession, lion's share of the territory, and we basically should have concluded and made some good decisions in certain moments in the last third. But yeah, that's football. It presents you with certain moments and you don't take opportunities. I think we should have probably scored more in the second half. But yeah, that's football and that's how it goes. You create some chances, the final pass is lacking, the movements are correct. You know, it's just a little bit of decision making and yeah, that can go against you. But overall, good game. I can't fault our boys. Yeah, I think overall it's a good game.
Coach, looking at the goals you scored, the first one obviously wonderful free kick
Yeah.
there. The second one forced that error early on in the second half.
Yeah.
You have your 2 goals.
Yeah.
But you controlled the game.
Yeah.
You were in charge. You were comfortable.
Yeah.
Does it not concern you that with all that possession, with all that control, you were not able to create more chances and score more goals? Like you said, the goal came from a set play, the other one forced error.
Yeah, look, correct. Especially the first half. The first half, they set back and denied us the space to play behind and to play through. And yeah, you have to admit and say, you know what? In those instances, you just want your team to control the game a little bit more and not rush to play the balls in behind because they are ready for them. You know. So I think the last 20 minutes we did very well in just saying, you know what, they're parking the pass. Let's play the ball a little bit more wide and cut inside. But if we can't, let's keep rotating the ball. Eventually they'll make the mistakes. And that's what happens in football. Sometimes you keep possession to attract them out. But they stood fast. They stood at the back strong and they denied us the space even. But yeah, as I mentioned, those 4 moments, we could have exploited them a little bit more. But I think it's when you are trying to say players must be slightly innovative, you know, and try to dribble inside, exploit the half space. Normally they would go wide and cut in with passing, you know. This time you're saying cut in with dribbles and so forth. So we are giving them a few innovative ideas that they probably should have thought themselves, but yeah, we are coaches, we can see these things, and sometimes the players are too immersed in the game and they don't think about the game holistically. But yeah, look, as I mentioned, these guys know us very well. It was always going to be difficult to exploit those spaces. We tried in the first half, but I think we just rushed a little bit. The ball just behind the centre backs or the ball just behind the full back. I think we rushed it a little bit. We should have kept possession a little bit more with better movement. And yeah, look, it's a game of football. You will not play your best every game, but sometimes you will, you know, work hard and get the result. You know, and that's what our guys did. Even though it's not too impressive, most games would be creating 10 chances. You know, and today we created possibly 6 if I'm counting. And if the decisions to either shoot or pass, you know, if they made the right decisions to shoot or pass, you know, we could be speaking something different, especially in the second half. There were many moments where we bypassed the line, but our player just didn't take the shot. You know, he decided to pass across goal instead of taking a shot. If the keeper saves it, it falls onto one of our guys and he taps it in. So it's just decision making. But look, we can't ask for more when the players win the game 2-0. Not an easy game, although we controlled it, but we just could not get the right pass into the areas we want. But it's a win. I'd be too harsh on our guys, saying we should have done more. They'll say, but coach, we scored 2 and we won the game. You know, yeah, coach, coach. You know, I'd be asking too much. And the most important thing right now is 3 points. You know, you get 3 points, you get ahead of the chasing pack. You just keep collecting the points and focusing on what you are doing and focusing on your way of playing. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't. You know, some teams prepare better for you, some don't. So this team prepared better for us, and kudos to them. You know, kudos to them. You can't expect to dominate all the time. You can't expect. You can dominate possession, but we want to dominate space. We want to dominate certain areas. We want to exploit those areas and create chances. And this is where these guys were very good. And I can't fault our guys really.
Coach, something I noticed, maybe you saw it differently.
Yeah.
You were very patient in the build-up. You rotated the ball very well.
Yes.
And you were able to move them out of certain spaces, especially on the right flank.
Yep.
You got the ball there in the right space to put in a cross or whatever.
Yep.
But there seemed at moments to be not enough numbers in the box, and some players were hesitant to play the cross because you look up, you see 1 against 3, 1 against 4.
Yeah.
Why do you think you were not adding enough numbers in the box when you had the ball in the wide areas?
Yeah, I did not want to say it, but you forced me to to say it. You think too much, Manuel. Look, we are transforming the team a little bit. So basically what you find is that there'll always be a communication issue when you are introducing new players into the system, and they are getting used to how we want to play, but it's not at 100% yet. And we are a team that is in transition, so to speak, because it's early in the year. It's the university structure. You know, you have to introduce new players into the system, but bring them up to speed with our game model as well. You know, and you could see, rightly so, what you identified is that the numbers were not enough into the box. We introduced a young striker, Tukulu from the Free State, and he does well to get into the pockets, does well to receive, but he hasn't yet found the timing of making the runs to get into the near post. So we want certain runs made by certain players to basically exploit certain areas of the field, and he's one of them, and he was not there in the first post. So it's something to work on, Now what you find is that with that, our inside midfielder is also not making the run to the penalty spot, you know. So a team in transition, so to speak. But the good thing is, while you are changing, you know, while you are in that transition, you are getting results, you know. And for us, the moment we start going at 100%, I think we will probably be unstoppable if we get into that 100%. But yeah, it's a football team. It will always be changing because of the university environment. Some will graduate, some will come in, the new ones will come in. You have to get them to acclimatize with our situations, firstly with academics, because academics are heavy. He's a new player, he's a new student, so he finishes at 5 while others finish at 3. His course is one of the heaviest, you know. So there's many factors, but the team will come right. The team will come right. I think your observation is correct, it's spot on. There's certain movements that some of the players don't make, and we require them to make those movements, but it will get there with time. And some of our injured players will be back by next week or in 2 weeks' time. So as I mentioned, once we start hitting our top gears, I think we'll be there, we'll be ready. The team will be hitting 100% probably in 2 to 3 weeks' time. So good observation.
Looking at, I think we are just 2 games over the halfway mark.
Yeah.
And you're on top of the log. Stars of Africa are chasing very closely.
Yeah.
What do you make of your performance in the first round?
The performance in the first round was very good. Very good performance. And it's funny you asked me about that. Even then, we were not hitting 100% gears, you know. But when it mattered the most against the strongest opponent, I think our team at a mental level, at a mental toughness level, they are very good. They always rise to the occasion, and that's why I'm happy about these boys, because in those moments they always rise to the occasion. You know, that's the advantage about UJ. When you think we are at our lowest, in actual fact, on a psychological level, we are at our best. You know, they've got a certain mental toughness that I haven't seen in a long time. You know, even though when we were not hitting top gears, they were still managing to work as a unit and fight hard to get results. And the first half of the season, did we lose a match?
I think it was only 1.
I think we drew a match. We drew 1 match against Stars of Africa. Should have been a win. We scored a goal. It was disallowed, but so that's another story for another day. It was disallowed. The good thing, we video all our games, so we can properly analyze what issues that were there. And I think we drew against that's Clever Boys. No, Clever Boys. We drew Clever Boys 2-2 as well. That was still a first round match, I think. Yeah, it was still a
Because
first
I remember
round
the
match.
Pirates one.
Yeah, no, the Pirates we won.
You won that one.
Yeah, we won that game. They were here. We
Yes.
played them here 2-0. Yeah. So first round was quite good. It was quite good, even though we were not at top gears. But we collected points, we collected results, and our goal difference looked healthy until KK Stars pulled out as well, because with them as well we had won that game 4, and the goal difference comes down a little bit. But I can't complain. We were still top of the log. We were still top of the log, and I know these guys have the winning mentality. They've got the mental toughness to keep fighting and getting 3 points. So I'm expecting a tougher second round, because teams are getting organized as well. Teams are getting organized. They've reinforced. So we are also getting reinforcements in certain areas. We just could not register a lot of them, because when they registered university, my SAFA window is closed. So the next season, I think we will do much better. We'll do much better. And no, sir, let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's many factors still to come there. Yeah, there's many factors still to come. We have to be wary of external factors there. And so we are quietly confident that if we keep working and keep playing the way we are, that's a big possibility. But yeah, not everything is in our hands. Not everything is in our hands. What is in our hands is the performance on the field of play, our performance, our controllable factors, but the other external factors we are not in control of. So you'll never think that we'll go directly to ABC Motsepe. Make no mistake, that's
tough.
Yeah, look, it's extremely tough. It's extremely tough. Many have gone and failed in the playoffs, and remember, with us it's tougher. We have to play 2 playoffs. The SAFA Regional League playoffs, and then you have to go to the other playoffs. Both have got factors. Now you know these other factors. Both have got those factors. But on the field of play, I'm quietly confident that we can make it. We can make it, definitely. Yeah. We've got the right mix of players, so we can.
Coach K, thank you very much for your time, and all the best in the remaining games.
Thank you so much. We need the luck. We shall work extremely hard. We shall ensure that we integrate the new players as best as we can, and we shall keep working and trying to play good football, progressive football, attacking football that can get us to win games as well. Effective, efficient football. Thank you.